We're still joined by the Beautiful Game podcasters, Dej and Buj. Guys, thanks for staying with us for a bit more chat. Plenty of deals were completed last month, and we're expecting loads more to keep going through as we head towards deadline day on August the 31st. Want to ask you, which club do you think has done the best business? Dej, start with you.
I would say Arsenal. I've been very, very impressed, particularly with Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. The reason being is they're coming from elite environments, you know, winning Premier League titles year in, year out, winning domestic cups. And I look back at Arsenal last season, and towards the end of the season, the last 3 games, I remember they played Newcastle away, Tottenham away, and you always looked at them and you weren't convinced that they were going to get the job done. But I think bringing in these 2 players, they've got that still, they've gone away to hostile territory, getting the job done, and I think that's the sort of energy that can permeate a dressing room. And also, I'd say Eddie Nketiah, he counts as a re-signing as well, because there was a period, there was a period where he was a free agent and he was talking to other clubs, and Arsenal managed to do the business. And there was a period in the season, last season, where he wasn't playing. He was getting 5 minutes here and there. Then, obviously, he came onto our podcast, aired his grievances and said, listen, you know, if you give me 3-4 games in a row, I'll prove I can do the business. And without his form, they might not have been in contention for the Champions League. And obviously Arsenal have done other signings, Vieira from Porto, Matt Turner, the goalkeeper, Marquinhos, the winger, but these are probably more longer term. So I think Arsenal have started off the transfer window very, very well.
Yeah, good shout. Arsenal fans tweeting in this morning are really excited about the season. Buj, what do you make of it? You go with Arsenal, you got another one?
So it absolutely pains me to say this, being an Arsenal fan. But I would say, in terms of the team that's done the best business, I probably would go with Spurs. I think, of course, at the moment we're talking about this current transfer window, but I think their work started off in the January transfer window. Yeah. And I mean, adding Dejan Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur, those are guys that have slotted seamlessly into the first team and improved the first team. And I would, go as far as saying that probably were part of the reason why, Spurs managed to get into that Champions League position by the end of the season. And I think they haven't rested on their laurels. They've gone back in this window and further strengthened in key areas. And you look at the agent of chaos that they've brought in Richarlison, and attacking options look absolutely phenomenal now. You know that the pressure is certainly eased off Harry Kane and Son now. And I think, with the additional competitions in mind, and really not wanting the strength of the team to drop when you're sort of making substitutions and bringing players in, I think they've really done really well in that regard. Yves Bissouma, Jed Spence at right back, which is another really promising a player that's coming through. They've also got Longley on loan from Barcelona, so they've done really good business. Yeah. I shouldn't also forget that they've brought in Fraser Foster, who is an ample deputy to Hugo Lloris as well. So I think they've done brilliantly. Yeah,
those two I've done well. Spurs fans as well are excited about the new season. So if we're saying Arsenal and Spurs have done well in the window so far, who's struggling? Who needs to do a lot more before the window closes?
I'm worried for Leicester, to be honest. There's been a lot of talk about outgoings with Wesley Fofana, James Maddison, Harvey Barnes. And Leicester have been a team that they've been disruptors over the last few years. They've been punching above their weight. I know last season there was a bit of a drop-off, but before, back-to-back, they finished 5th, won the FA Cup. And now it looks like the project, might be over, because if there's these outgoings, you're going to need to bring in players, to take their positions, to get back to that level. And I think the issue with Leicester over the last 12 months has been recruitment. They've been a team that has got their recruitment spot on. But last season they brought in Yannick Vestergaard, Ryan Bertrand, Bouba Samari in midfield, and it didn't work out, if I'm being honest. I thought Patson Daka done okay, but at a club like Leicester, you need your signings to go in and make the difference straight away. And, Brendan Rodgers, he's a top manager, a good guy, but I think this is where he's going to earn his corn, because there's going to be a bit of a rebuild job going on. They've lost Kasper Schmeichel to Nice, and that experience is going. So I'm very, very worried for Leicester.
But who are you worried for? Sorry to cut you off there, Des. Who are you worried for?
I'd probably say Wolves. I think in their position, right, you look back to last season, they finished 10th. And if you look at the teams in and around them, you know, your Crystal Palaces, your Brentfords, your Newcastles, they've all strengthened. And the issue with, you know, the Premier League is that you can't stand still. Even just to sort of maintain your position, there has to be a level of investment. And I think the only incoming they've had is, I think it was Nathan Collins from Burnley. Aside from that, they haven't really strengthened, but everybody else around them has. And I think even just to maintain their position, that they're going to need to strengthen a bit more.